A new brand to me you may not know about, you may know about. Detrick out of Dayton, Ohio. This is their rye whiskey that was sent to me by a friend. If you guys don't know about this one, stick around. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to Brutally Honest Bourbon. So today I'm excited to go over Detrick, which is a Belle of Dayton Distillery brand out of Dayton, Ohio. So a little bit of background on how I even come about learning of this brand. A good friend of mine, Robert, watches Hello Again Whiskey Friends on YouTube and Instagram. I watch them as well. Somehow I overlooked Jeff's video on this bottle. So Rob reached out to me and said, hey, if you have an opportunity to talk with Jeff, ask him what it would take for us to get a bottle of that Detrick rye. I said, what the heck is Detrick rye? So he sent me Jeff and them's videos. Like, well, I don't know how I overlooked that one, but I definitely missed it. So I reached out to Jeff and said, hey man, Rob and I would love one of these. He's like, man, they're not far from me. He's like, it's actually like in my hometown. Like, it's a brand that I'm really fond of. It's similar in the fashion of what Detling is for me. So it's a brand in his hometown that's making, very small craft distillery. I think they're sitting on about 250 barrels there. They pride themselves in small batch type stuff, and he's really fond of them and has spoke really highly of them. Earlier this year, Jeff and I got a little closer when he saw a video that I did on Silver Springs. So he tried the Silver Springs and was like, wow, dude, thank you for putting us on that. Like, now how do we get more of it? So he started searching and he started finding it and actually got me a bottle that he found up there. Said, man, compare this to some of the ones that you're trying down there. And I did, and it was fantastic. So that's kind of like Jeff and my background, and they even had me on their show one day just to kind of talk to me and see who I was and kind of like what I had going on my side. And I look forward to having them on one night for a live stream for you guys that may not know about them to learn a little bit about them. Really cool group of guys. They know a lot more about whiskey than I know for sure. And I'm just really happy that he's got a brand that he's as fond of as I am of Detling. I can really resonates with me that he has a brand like that he's that close to. So I've never had anything Detrick, don't know anything about them other than what I've read a little bit. So it's Belle of Dayton Distillery in Dayton, Ohio, very small craft brand. Like I said, 250 barrels that they've got there aging. They pride themselves on small batching. This particular bottle that we're looking at is going to be a 4-grain. So it's going to be rye, it's going to be white corn, wheat, and malted barley. Comes in at about 112 proof. It is a small batch, single barrel proof whiskey that is predominantly rye. It's about 9.5 years old, 9 years, 5 months. And it comes from a brand that was around before Prohibition. The brand name kind of faded out. Belle of Dayton Distillery revived this brand. And so this is what they're putting out, and Jeff speaks super highly of them. And so Robert was really intrigued by Jeff's video on the brand. So he was like, man, see if you can get us one. And I did. So I just got this. I'm looking forward to trying it. It's a sealed bottle. I have not opened that, so I don't know a thing about it. You guys will get my 100% brutal, honest take on this bottle. And Jeff, I just hope that I like it, man, because I don't want to speak bad about a brand that you love. Although I know that feeling if it happens. A lot of people that speak that way about Detling, it's just not for them. And that's totally fine, man. That's what I love about whiskey. So another apprehension that I have about the brand is going to be it's pot distilled. There are a lot fewer pot distilled whiskeys out there that I like. There are more of them that I dislike. I just find myself being more of a column still kind of guy. Maybe pot still is just a lot more methodical. Maybe it's easier to scorch the grains. Maybe it's really like picky and, on the type of grain that you cook in a pot still. I don't know. I'm not a whiskey distiller. I just know that there are several pot stilled whiskeys out there that aren't quite for me. Balcones pot still, the red label is definitely one of them. Anything that's not cast strength from Leaper Fork, I just really haven't loved. Detling is, in theory, a pot stilled whiskey, and I really like it. We went to Old Glory this week. They do pot still and they do column still. Really liked everything that I had there, and as the ages got higher on their stuff, it lended more to my palate. So the Old Glory stuff, whether it be pot stilled or column still, the younger, the more bright fruits like red apples and that kind of sweetness, which is a good whiskey. Like I like Angry Orchard beer every now and then, right? I'm more of a stout beer guy. So when you look at whiskey, I'm more that direction, right? So I'm gonna enjoy the darker, nuttier Jim Beam profile type whiskeys. So with all that said, we'll get into this thing and see. So these guys have won some awards with San Francisco, so there's a lot to be said for them. And I feel like Jeff and I have similar palates. Maybe not, but so far, that's what it seems like. I'm really just anxious to get into this thing and hoping that I like it, Jeff. A unique color to it. Not super dark, not really light. That's a heavy pour right there. What if I don't like that? Very, very unique color. I like the color, the darkness, but that is very, so I like nosing in these glasses, but what I do hate is it's very easy to over pour. And I think I'm gonna pour a little bit of this in a clean glass. Let's look and see what we think about this whiskey. Now I may have just gotten in my head talking about apples, but I most certainly get a lot of like caramel apple in this. You're picking up that rye and spice. There's some honey in there and maybe a hint of some type of like nutty profile. Not real sure. Let's see what we think about it. Terrible, Jeff. What is that? Oh my God. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. Man, that is really good, y'all. So on the nose, I got a lot of caramel, apple, rye spice. On the palate, it rolls into the flavor. So it doesn't just punch you in the palate with flavor. It definitely doesn't hit you heavy with ethanol proof. It's 112 proof. It has a lighter finish. The finish fades a little quicker than I would like. So we're talking about a 9-year, 5-month Ohio distilled and aged whiskey. It's pot still, and there's zero funk about that I don't like. Okay, all right, Jeff, man, hands down, that is a delicious whiskey. What I would say is that would be an everyday pour. So it's about $100 bottle. I think there were $98 on the shelf. It is not limited edition like crazy special whiskey, but it's really good. It's got a thicker mouthfeel to it that I really like. It's not as thick as I would like, but it's thick. It has a delicious flavor to it, and I swear I'm getting like red apples on that with just a hint of caramel. It's creamy, and it definitely has some almond type cashew nuttiness going on to it. Guys, all in all, that is a really good whiskey. Jeff, I was nervous, man. I didn't want to review this live on a fresh crack. I wanted to try it first, but I think it's only fair that you guys see me review bottles, fresh crack right up front, because if I haven't had it, then, you know, I have two choices there. I can be honest with you and tell you it's just not for me or I love it, or I can lie to you and just say, okay, I like it. I will never, ever lie to you guys about a bottle. I may like it today, and 3 weeks from now, it may not be quite the same for me. I think that's just whiskey. But if I tell you on video and I put the video out that I like it, I really do like it. What I hate is not reviewing enough whiskeys that I dislike. Heather's like, how could you name yourself Brutally Honest and you don't ever like hate or bash a whiskey? I'll never bash a whiskey, but I'll honestly tell you guys if I don't like it. And so I would rather review one fresh crack like that and not have any preconceived idea of whether I'm gonna like it or dislike it. Even though this said pot still, and I was thinking that maybe would not like it. But now if I know for a fact that I don't like a whiskey, I'm not gonna sit down and review it for you guys. So, you know, if I already know I like it, I'll review it. If I already know I dislike it, I just typically don't. But I'll tell you those whiskeys, you know, and for me, predominantly it's been Balcones or Balcones that just I really haven't liked, and then the Leaper's Fork, Bottle and Bond, just not a fan of it. On theirs, on the Leaper's Fork, I get like a lot of yeasty type notes. This, I get zero funk, I get zero like dislike. The only thing I dislike about this whiskey is it doesn't have enough finish. It doesn't finish out long enough. It just kind of fades quickly. So we'll give you a look at the legs there. They're really wide. Yeah, as you get, the glass starts getting a little drier, you start picking up more of that nuttiness on it. There's no bitterness to it. It leaves the palate pretty clean. Has just a nice hint of kind of like a peppery spice there. I'm thinking like jalapeno, not jalapeno flavor, but that kind of like little spice that you would get from it. Dude, all in all, that's a very good bottle. Where would I rate it? Like on a scale of 1 to 5 with King of Kentucky and Heaven Hill 19 and William Louis Weller and all those being 5s for me, that bottle gets a solid 4 flat. Solid 4 flat. And the only reason that it doesn't score any higher for me is because the finish does not carry as long as I would like. That's the only negative thing I can say about it. Absolutely delicious whiskey, Jeff. Thank you. Guys, if y'all haven't gotten out and tried the Detrick brand yet, then I highly encourage you to get out and check them out. If y'all hadn't looked over at the Patreon yet, please look over there. Let me know what you think about it. The Patreon group is the only way that I continue being able to do what I do. You guys mean the world to me. And if you are a patron of mine, and if there's something that's going on, that if I'm missing something, I'm one guy here. And so I'm doing everything I can. I've had some members hit me up and say, hey man, I never got my glass or my shirt, the free stuff, that you get after 6 months, or hey man, I never did get a quarterly sample pack, which we draw for those. And I think maybe I didn't word that clearly enough, but if you are a patron and there's any of that stuff that's missing, man, please reach out to me, because I promise you, I'm not purposely forgetting to do these things. I just can't get it all done in the amount of time that I have to get it done. Absolutely love doing this. This is a blast. Belle of Dayton, look forward to hearing from me. Jeff, you and I need to make a trip there very soon. Guys, I hope that this shed some light for you. Hope you guys will get out there and try it. If you've had it, leave me a note in the comments. Tell me what your thoughts are about some of their other offerings, because now I've got to know. And until the next time, y'all let the whiskey and friendships flow. Cheers. Absolutely delicious. I love that whiskey.